The Musonics V is an all-analogue 4-pole diode ladder filter. It's available in black and silver front panels and is 14 HP wide. Its circuitry is an exact reproduction of the filter used in the Musonics Sonic V synthesizer. It's named Musonics V because it's an extended version of the Sonic V's filter and adds both 6 dB and bandpass outputs, which weren't present on the original filter, along with wave shaping on the resonance loop, and an input wave folder or wave shaper which can be used as a standalone effect, which essentially makes it 2 modules in one. It can sound more raw and punchy than the Transistor Ladder Filter, and its character is very similar to the diode filters of the old EMS VCS3 and Synthi. So this is a module. As you can see, it's nice and shallow, which makes it skiff friendly. And on the bottom, this is your power connector. And the bottom 2 pins here, you can see there's a -12 volt marked underneath it, which is pretty standard for AJH Synth modules. And on your power connector, you have the red stripe, which is meant to connect to the -12 volt. So make sure you've got red stripe down and then connect to the back of the module. And the same applies to the case as well. The red stripe on the bottom of the cable should also be connected to the -12 volt rail on your bus board or your power supply. So if you've got a bus board like this one, it will probably be marked where the -12 volt is. In this case, it's a board, so generally they're at the bottom, but just make sure you know for certain what one you're connecting it to. And just gingerly slide it on without forcing anything. So this is a block diagram that shows you how the input is divided after it passes the input's attenuator. And one copy goes straight through to the filter itself, and the other goes straight to the wave shaper, which then subsequently is sent back to the filter. To use just the wave shaper on its own, you need to make sure that the resonance is all the way down and your filter is all the way open. And so I've got it in low pass mode, so because the filter is all the way open, it's not taking any high frequencies off of the outgoing signal. So you're basically passing the full audio from the oscillator through to your wherever you go next, to VCA or another filter. So the input level will drive the signal after a certain point. So if I start raising that, I've got this connected to a triangle wave at the moment, but basically the more you raise the level, the more saturated that signal will become. So reducing it to a level where it's pretty clean. This is all standard Eurorack level audio as well, so that's just the sound of the triangle wave coming into the filter, passing through unfiltered into a VCA. So the in-mix attenuator controls how much of the wave-shaped signal is also passed through to the filter. So in this case, nothing. I've got it all the way down. And to be used as a wave shaper purely, just only as a wave shaper, you'd ideally want this in-mix all the way up. And then the in-wave actually controls the amount of wave shaping. So if I raise that, so the input level will have an impact on the character of the sound as well. So the more you drive the signal, obviously the wave shape will be shaping a slightly different input sound. Also below the in-wave pot there's a 3-way selector switch that gives you a choice of 3 different levels of bias that's applied to the input wave. So on the highest setting, that's just what I had there. You can hear that difference, that drop in level. Try that with the input really being driven as well. Middle position. The Sonic XV's also got a wave shaper on the resonance loop. So at the moment I've got signal coming in from the VCO which I'm shaping using the wave shaper, and I've got the resonance set up very high and frequency just down to 50%, and this is what it sounds like, just shaping the resonance. Try this on some different outputs. This is a 6 dB. And bandpass. The Resmix pot controls the balance of the resonance that's being passed through the resonance wave shaper and just the resonance as it would normally sound just coming straight through the filter. So if I turn the resonance mix all the way down and put the resonance up just to illustrate this, that's the sound of the resonance, just purely from the filter itself. If you want to use a Sonic XV as just a filter, you need to make sure that the in-mix control is all the way down, otherwise you're adding wave shaping like that. So setting that position, it's just set up for purely for filtering. Also, it's only got a single input, so if you want to combine multiple VCOs or other audio sources, you need something like the Ring SM to combine them to go into the filter in the first place. But this is the sound of a 24 dB filter and no resonance, and that's frequency all the way up. And this is sawtooth. And add input drive. And then add in resonance. And then 6 dB output. and then bandpass mode. And with a wave shaper, and I'll just run a quick pattern through that. Bit of envelope on frequency. Still in bandpass mode. Go back into 6 dB. And 24. Because of the design of this filter, it's not going to behave in quite the same way as something like a transistor ladder filter. It's a lot more chaotic. If you think of the old EMS synthesizers like the VCS3 and the Synthi and the kind of sounds that people made with those, a lot of it was happy accidents that were just very unpredictable results just because of the nature of the design of the instrument itself. Well, this lends itself a little bit more to that, but you still can control it. And for an example, I've set this up at the moment just for a pattern running through it. If I set the resonance all the way to full, so that's tracking that pattern pretty well at the moment. And also if I turn the input signal off, so now you're listening to just the filter resonance on its own. So you've got extensive CV control over the filter itself and the frequency. So but you've also got control over the resonance by CV. And you can also control the wave shaper. Also works on the wave shaper for the resonance as well. So using the Ring SM to combine two different different signals. I've got a sawtooth and a triangle wave coming out of two different oscillators. They're both tuned together, but at the moment they're on the same octave. But if I change that, because the Sonic XV is both a filter and a wave shaper, you can use it to achieve both East Coast and West Coast synthesis methods. Because with filtering, you're removing harmonic content from the incoming signal. That's subtractive synthesis. But you've also got additive synthesis, and the wave shaper is actually adding harmonic content to your incoming signal. So you could be doing both at the same time. It can take something like a triangle wave or a sine wave, use the wave shaper to add harmonic content to it to make it more harmonically rich, and then afterwards filter it using the filter section. That gives you a lot of possibilities in just one module.